So I've been painting for a while, and I'm very familiar with acrylic paint and more recently with oil paint, and now I'm going to learn how to use watercolour paints. I bought myself this set yesterday and some paper, and I tried out a little portrait yesterday and had a few ideas, and so I want to record this journey of learning watercolours for the record. So I've also got a new kitten who's going to keep me company while I do this, and so I just got these little lavenders out the garden and this little pot I have, and I'm going to attempt to paint that using my new watercolours. So we'll see how we go. A friend made me this little pot out of clay in the 1980s, and this is Frank, our new little ginger kitten. So now I'm taping down the paper with masking tape onto a board, stretching it out as much as I can, and this is meant to stop the paper from buckling. And then I just outlined the drawing because I don't know how to make corrections with watercolours. I'm so new at it, and I figure that if I've got something to contain my marks in, I'll probably make less mistakes. So the theory is, and I did research a little bit on the rules of watercolour painting, is to go light to dark with the pigment. Light to dark means less pigment, so more of a watery wash at the beginning, and then you can layer up the paint as you go to get more of the dark tones. And I found that it gets wet pretty quick, and you can work wet on wet, but there gets a point where it's sort of too wet to keep going. So here I'm just sort of spreading out my light tones, and I was probably going in dark too soon. Here I made my biggest mistake, attempting to do a dark background where I really should have left it light. I would have had a lot less drama as I was going along, but I found getting the edges I wanted really difficult, getting that dark in between and not being able to put the light back on top. So it wasn't easy to do a dark background at this stage. But I persisted, and that's what you do. Bit of a mess at the top there. The flowers are a mess. I was kind of happy with the little vase, but the flowers were just giving me grief at this stage. So I got out the white ink and popped a bit of that on, which is pretty amazing stuff. It's pretty opaque, so happy with the bottom, not happy with the top. So here I got out my watercolour pencils and started putting in some detail with those. It was quite nice using the pencils. I could really get some fine detail in there and some colour. So it was pretty good. I laid the colour over colour, and then I laid out the background using line work to just make the background a different kind of texture than the flowers, to help bring the flowers forward. And that seemed to help, and I was able to sort out my edges. And then I went in with the brush again and some more white ink, which really helped give the highlights. And then I went in again with a little bit of water paint colour over the lightest parts, just to give the flowers colours. And I thought it worked out okay. So I think I have finished, and I'm going to maybe have a look what it looks like. Ooh, why is that pulling off? What it looks like. I'm a bit sad about that, pulling that off. Without this masking tape. Just very carefully take that off like that. Let's pull it off again. I wonder if that's a paper thing or... There. Yeah, it's a good medium. It's a great process. There's a lot I think I can do with this, and there's a lot I have to learn. So I'll keep going with it.